the unstoppable Coach Leffridge, and you are watching another episode of the Next Level Living Show. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your time either live or in the replay of the Next Level Living Show with Coach Terrance, where we talk to ordinary people doing extraordinary things to live their life on the next level. Thank you for spending a little bit of your night with me and with our special guest that we're going to have on the broadcast tonight, a phenomenal brother who's doing phenomenal things in the world of speaking, who is changing lives, who is making a difference, and who is giving us a little bit of his time tonight to come on our show. So you know me, I'm Terrance, Mr. Unstoppable with Unstoppable Coaching Services. And we help you create your vision. We help you implement your vision. But more importantly, we hold you accountable to making that vision a reality, because we know everybody has a vision. We know everybody has a story, and we want the world to hear your story. Now, a couple of housekeeping rules before we get started. As always, you can see right above your head that there's plenty of social media tabs. We've got the Facebook tab. We've got the like and the share tab. We've got the Twitter tab, the Pinterest tab, and yes, we've got the LinkedIn tab. The Next Level Living Show is definitely into social media, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear how you feel about the show. We want to hear any takeaways that you'll get from the show. So why don't you go ahead right now and click on one of those tabs, whether it's Facebook is your favorite, or Twitter, or even LinkedIn. Click on one of those right now and let the world know. Let your circle of influence know that you're watching the Next Level Living Show right now. And hey, if you really want to be interactive, just look down below and you'll see that you can join us in the Facebook chat room for the Next Level Living Show just by clicking below. That'll take you over to the Next Level Living Show page on Facebook. And we want you to sign in with your name, where you're from, what you do, so that we can give you a shout out or answer any question that you might have throughout the course of this broadcast. Well, you know what, family? It is a little less than 30 days away from 2016. And for many of you, you are into the holiday mood, and you're kind of shutting down for the year probably, and you're just kind of coasting into 2016. Now, maybe some of you are really beginning to ramp things up, getting ready for 2016 while you still can in 2015. And then, unfortunately, there's probably somebody watching this broadcast right now that has already quit on 2016, and 2016 hasn't even gotten here yet. Well, we've got a word for each one of you this evening. For the ones who are coasting into 2016, for the ones who are ramping up for a phenomenal, unstoppable 2016, and yes, for you who have already given up on 2016. Our message for you this evening is to quit quitting. And we've got a phenomenal brother who's going to drive that message home to you tonight by the name of Chis'mere Mallard. I like to call him the melodious master of motivation, but someone even greater than myself in the speaking world has already called him and coined the phrase, the golden voice of motivation. Yes, indeed, when you hear this brother come on the line, Chis'mere Mallard, you are just going to be taken in by that melodious voice that he has. It's radio, it's Broadway, it's all that wrapped into one. But more important than the voice is the message behind the voice. You see, Chis'mere has a message. Chis'mere has a story. And he wants to take a little bit of time tonight to share his story with you, and how he overcome and how he decided that he was done quitting on life, and how you can quit quitting on your life and live an unstoppable life headed into 2016 as well. So grab your pen, grab your paper, get a glass of water, sit down, get comfortable, and get ready to get inspired as we welcome to the Next Level Living Show the golden voice of motivation, Chis'mere Mallard. Chis'mere, are you on the broadcast?
Hey, Terrance, I'm here. How are you doing?
Hey, Chis'mere, welcome to the Next Level Living Show, brother.
Yes, thank you. I'm excited. I'm having an unstoppable day. I feel like Helen Keller, as she says, life is short. Have the dessert first. So this is my dessert. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your busy schedule to bless us on the Next Level Living Show. We know you've got a powerful message. We know you've got a powerful story. And so I'm glad that out of all the shows that you could be on tonight, that you decided to come and share some time with us. So I'm going to ask you to just to give my audience a little bit more information about yourself. But before you do that, I want to ask you this one question. And it's the question I ask every guest that comes on the Next Level Living Show. And that question is, Chis'mere, what does it mean to you to live your life on the next level?
What it means to me to live my life on the next level, it means that I'm going to live my life with an unstoppable mentality. It means that I'm going to live relentlessly. It means that I'm going to go after my dreams, after my goals with all that I have, because all that I can do is all that I can do, but I must make sure that I do all that I can do. What it means to me to go to the next level, it means that I have to live out my dreams. It means that I must live full and die empty.
See, this ain't even right. I can't get my voice way down there and do it so melodically and so smooth. So, I'm just in awe of you just for your voice by that. But more importantly, you come out of the box with that message. And I like your banner behind you that says, pursue your dreams. So let's get a little bit deeper into who Chis'mere Mallard is. Tell us a little bit about you and tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yes, so I was born and raised in Houston, Texas. I grew up in a very non-communicative, very sedative. When I say sedative, I mean that wasn't filled with very much love. I grew up in a broken home. Like many young kids today are growing up in a broken home. I grew up very confused. I grew up facing and dealing with a lot of rejection, a lot of resentment, a lot of unforgiveness. I grew up with a lot of hopelessness, not a lot of joy. I had joy, yes, when I went outside and I played with my friends as we would play hide and go seek and basketball and went swimming. But I didn't have, I believe, the attention, the love, the joy that I needed. And I needed the validation from a father, and I didn't have that either. I had to deal with certain things such as molestation. See, I was molested at a very young age by an older woman. And I found myself at one point in my life on the bathroom floor at the age of 20 as I was crying and weeping about my past. I'm reminded of a movie that says, you may be over your past, but your past is not over with you.
Ah, wow.
So I was dealing with all those things from my past, and I even developed thoughts of suicide. And I was wondering where are all these things coming from? It was my past that had a grip around my mind. The same way an eagle's claws can grip its prey, I felt like the enemy, and we know the truest enemy is the enemy within us. I was fighting the things from my past. But I had to make a decision that what I call is to rise up. And I heard several voices, and I say voices meaning that I've heard different people speak, and either through the radio or on CDs or speaking to my life. And one of those individuals that I heard in me says, your past does not have to dictate your future. Someone's opinion about you does not have to become your reality, as Les Brown has says. See, we all get knocked down, but I believe that it's important that not only we get up, but we get up believing that we're unstoppable. In your book, you says one of the number one tips, one of the number one keys is to move out of your own way. And I had to make my conscious decision, as Kyle Young says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it'll ruin your life and you'll call it fate. So I had to begin to get out of my way and allow God himself to heal me from my past. Allow those wounds in my heart to be healed. And as
I'll
I began to get up
go
and
ahead.
rise up, I knew that if I could get up, and not only that, if I can stay up, I too can pursue my dreams. I too can become unstoppable. I too can quit quitting.
I love it. We're talking to Chis'mere Mallard, the golden voice of motivation on the Next Level Living show. And we're going to dissect this. We're going to unwrap this package that is Chis'mere Mallard, because you said a lot in that opening statement. And I thank you, first and foremost, for being transparent about your story. Because it's one thing we know here at the Next Level Living show is that there's a young Chis'mere that's going to check out this show, because he wants to see what he can be. And you said earlier that you didn't have a father influence in your life. So let's go back to that and talk about what life was like for Chis'mere without that fatherly influence, and how you were able to overcome that part of your life.
Yeah, that's a very good question. I'm glad you brought that up. The first time I was not a part of the inmates. I wasn't a part of the group, but I went there to motivate them. That's the first time I ever spoke in front of 400 people. And I gave them a statistic. I said 80% of men that are in prison come from broken households, homes that do not have a father figure in the home. And growing up was tough without a father. It was tough because I did not have the validation. I did not have the direction. I was going through life trying to figure everything out by myself. Yes, you have your coaches. Yes, you have your other friends' dads who will try to give you some words of wisdom or advice, but I wasn't their kids. I wasn't their kids, and they weren't with me 24/7. They weren't with me as I was dealing with stuff at night and thinking and worrying and needed words of encouragement. They weren't with me then. So I felt like I was a loner. I felt like I was the lone wolf trying to figure out life by myself. My mother could not understand me. I often have spoken to single mothers, and they just can't get across the message that they want to their kids. And I told them, to your daughters you can, but to your boys it's tough, because a young boy needs a man. He needs the validation. So I was trying to do what I thought what every man should do. And I was trying to get more involved with the women in sports and get a couple of fights. I was trying to build my masculinity, but I was building it in the wrong way. I was going down the wrong road. So I think the first letter of dad, it stands for direction. And I
Wow.
was going in the wrong direction.
Wait. You got to go ahead and say that again. The first letter of dad is
The
what?
first letter of dad, I just came up with it all by myself right now. But
Oh my God.
his direction. And there's a lot of kids right now. We hear all the shootings and all these issues, all the violence. I think a lot of these kids, they don't have direction. And the next letter, A, stands for attention. And they don't get the attention from their dads. They don't get the direction. They don't get the attention. And they don't get the last letter, divine authority. See, a father to me is a representation of how God relates, how God treats us. If my sons come up to me, or my daughter says, Dad, can you give me a piece of bread? Can you give me something to eat? I won't give them a stone. No, I'm going to take care of them.
Right, because you have kids now, correct?
Pardon me?
You have kids now, correct?
I have kids now.
And so you are a father. So you are the actual, you are now trying to be, or are being, that which you wish you had for yourself. So how does that play into your everyday life?
Someone asked me, that's a very good question. Someone asked me the other day, several people have asked me this question. Says, Chis'mere, how is it that you can be a good father? And there's one thing I will tell people. I will only brag on God living within me, and I will say, look, yes, there's one thing I think I can do very well as a father. And they said, how is it that you are a good father? And I says, it's easy. You just give your kids what you never received. You give them TIME. You give them a lot of LOVE, a lot of love. You give them a lot of comfort. When they fall down, yes, it's good to help them get back up. When they're crying, you put your arms around them and you tell them everything's going to be okay. Daddy has your back. So with my kids, I'm a very emotional father, a very loving father. I kiss my 13-year-old on his head. I tell him, you're always going to be my baby boy. I tell the same thing to my 6-year-old son and my 9-year-old daughter. I let them know that daddy is here with them and I'm never going anywhere unless God calls me home sooner than I expect. And I validate them all the time. I tell them that they have greatness inside of them. I tell them that you know what I've ever done or what I ever will do. I tell my boys, you're going to be the best man, the best Mallard that you can be. You're going to be 10 times better than me. So I validate them all the time. But I show them tough love also. I let them know there's going to be some disappointments in life, not their might, but their will in life. So, and I create a sound structure for them. That's what I do with my kids. I give them what I didn't have.
You know what? And that is such a good story. That's a great testimony. And that's going to be a great lead in to talking about this phenomenal thing that you have coming up, this phenomenal piece of literature that you're going to be gracing the world with. And we will be talking about that shortly. But we want to touch a little bit more on how Chis'mere got to become the golden voice of motivation that you are today. We know you went through some tragedies early on in life, and it appears that those tragedies shaped you. So how did those tragedies shape you into the person that you are today?
Yeah, those tragedies, the things that I've been through, we all go through things. We're going to face the fiery furnaces of this world. It's a must. It's something that's going to happen. I believe that you can't get lemon unless you squeeze the lemonade unless you squeeze the lemon. And life squeezes us from time to time. So
Yes.
through these tragedies, I've been squeezed. And I've told people you have two choices. You can develop a victorious mentality or you can develop a victim's mentality. That's one of the issues we have today. And a lot of people are walking around like victims instead of realizing that they have a story to tell, instead of realizing that they can share their story and change millions of lives. So I've developed a victor's mentality. I don't dwell on the fact that I didn't have a father. I don't dwell on the fact that I at one point was depressed and thought about committing suicide. I don't dwell on the fact that I didn't have all the love I should have received. I don't dwell on that. What I do is I use it as fuel so that I can spread love and spread joy and spread hope and begin to let people know they do more than what they've done up to this point. Let them know that they have comeback power. Let them know that they can excel. They can prevail if they give it their all.
Wow.
And that's what I love to do. I use that as fuel. I tell people sometimes I have a chip on my shoulder. And some people are looked at as chips on their shoulders. They say that person has issues or he's stern or he's aggressive. No, I think the chip is good. Because I use what the enemy meant for bad, I use it for good. God, everything works out for the good. For those who love the Lord, everything. So the first 4 letters of testimony is test.
Yes.
You can't have a testimony without a test.
Right.
Everybody wants to share or have a testimony, but they do not want to go through the test. I already been through the fire. I already been knocked down, but as my mentor, Les Brown says, when life knocks you down, fall on your back because of the look up, you can get up. And I've fell down plenty of times, but I continuously kept looking up. I continuously kept getting up. And I guarantee you, Terrance, I'll get knocked down again, but I can guarantee you also, Terrance, I'm going to keep getting back up.
And you know what? I'm like you. I've fallen so many times on my back that I
Yes.
think I started concussion protocols before the NFL even thought about it. I've just fell in so many times. But it's that desire to get back up and to get back in the game, that
Yeah.
desire to not be a spectator, but to be a participator. That's what makes you great, that what makes you an overcomer, that makes you that father figure that your son and your daughter can look up to, even though you didn't have that privilege of having a father figure to look up to in your life. I didn't have a father figure in my life either. My father passed away when I was 1 years old. So
Yeah.
the
Wow.
only the only image I have of my father are the pictures that I've been shown by my family. The only upbringing that I had was an upbringing that was shaped by mostly women in my life
Yeah.
and men that they brought into my life as a result of their relationship. So we both have had to, I'm not going to say make it on our own, because nobody makes it on their own.
That's
Everybody
true.
needs somebody, and everybody has somebody working on their behalf behind the scenes. But we had to find our way differently from the other men and the other boys that had those father figures in their lives. But the good news is that the father figures don't end when you become an adult. You have been
Yeah,
shaped
that's right.
by some great speakers that are around today, and you say in your bio that it was at the you were inspired by several different speakers. So talk to us about how you came in contact with these different speakers and how they inspired you.
Yeah, I'll share even with John Maxwell, one of the speakers, and I don't have, of course, I'm certified through John Maxwell as a speaker, trainer, and coach, but just reading his books. See, I tell people it's important that if you want to grow, you want to stretch yourself, you have to find mentors. And the easiest way to find a mentor, the easiest way to find someone that you can bounce ideas off of, maybe not from a verbal perspective, but just understanding who they are, is from their books. I've learned through John Maxwell, as he says, that success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit other people. See, I believe that we all have a purpose. And he's somebody who let me know as I was reading his book, I got a purpose. And it's time for me to grow, and it's time for me to sow seeds. I also have looked up to my coach, and when I was in high school, Coach Barry Townley, and he was an amazing guy. I remember one time I was listening to this garbage. It was rap music. It was the not Christian rap music. Obviously, that's good stuff, but it was the stuff that the gangster rap and all the profanity. And he says, Shamir, you shouldn't be listening to this. It'll pollute your mind. You're better than this. I know exactly where we were standing when he told me that. And he was a figure in my life at an early age. And my best friend's dad, Sammy Serrano, his father was a figure. Now I'm saying other people besides speakers,
Right.
but as far as speakers, yes, Dr. Martin Luther King. Now we all know who he is, and I have a dream, and the
Okay, so it looks like we have lost Shamir a little bit. We're hoping that he doesn't completely fall out. Hopefully, it's just a little bit of delay. This is live TV. This is live broadcast of the Next Level Living Show with Coach Terrance and our special guest, the golden voice of
I'm not doing right when I could be doing a little bit better. And he says, hey, you need to make an adjustment in your life, and I make those adjustments.
Hey, Shamir, we lost you there for a
Yeah.
couple of seconds, so I just want to do a quick mic check, mic check, mic check. Can you hear us pretty good? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're having a little bit of freeze up on your end. So I want to make sure as you continue to talk, as you continue to tell your story, take a couple of seconds every now and then to just check in and make sure that you're still coming through clearly. Okay.
Yes, sir. You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you pretty clearly, and you left off when you were talking about that not only were speakers your motivation, but your own coach and Martin Luther King, and that was that. I think for most young boys growing up in the era that we grew up, because we're not 22 or 23 on this broadcast.
Exactly.
So Martin Luther King was our first impression of a powerful black man speaking in front of an audience. He was what any speaker worth their salt aspired to be.
Mhm.
I often visualized standing in front of a pulpit or standing in front of a podium and giving a powerful address that will not only move people but would actually change their lives. And I can only guess that you had that same type of feeling when you were watching Martin Luther King. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
So how did we evolve from watching Dr. Martin Luther King and reading John Maxwell books into becoming a certified speaker? What made you decide that this was what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so I'll go back to even as a kid. Yes, I've dealt with a lot of different things, but I had an entrepreneurial spirit. I had my first business at 12 years old. I had a lawnmower business. My best friend and I, we had that business, and we made some days $60 to $100 cutting yards.
Okay.
Reached that, although I was going through things, my heart was pure, and I wanted to truly help people. And as I got older, my first time that I spoke in front of a crowd, I emceed an event. I was 21 years old at University of Texas, Pan America, and they asked me to MC an event. And I didn't prepare. I just got up there and started talking. And I got very, very excited about it. You're with me? I
Yeah, I
got
mean,
I got very excited because it was probably about 200 to 300 people, and I made them laugh, and I was it was impromptu. So from there on, I said, I want to speak and I want to develop myself as a speaker. And years passed, and then I started speaking at the prison. I'd go to the prison probably every month for about 5, 6 years. And I would speak to the men of the prison and motivate them, encourage them. And I started hearing about John Maxwell and his certification. And I wanted to get certified. I wanted to continue to learn. See, if you want to do better, you have to know better. You have to know more to do more. And if you want to earn more, I wanted to get certified through an incredible organization. And so John Maxwell was one, and with Les Brown, it was more of he's my favorite speaker, and I've always looked up to Les Brown. And to be able to get some mentorship by Les Brown was also another choice that I just had to make.
okay. So you are John Maxwell certified speaker. You are a Les Brown platinum speaker, and you're also a Dr. Reuben West black belt speaker. So
And a Ruben West, absolutely.
you have a wealth of experience. So now, what's got you making this U-turn into becoming an author, which is what we're going to talk about for the remainder of the show?
Yes, and I'll say this: uh, I believe that you have to continuously learn. It's constant. And when I spoke with Ruben, and he introduced me to what I call black belt speaker training, and he says, "Hey, this is going to be a great opportunity for you. It's going to come out." I was mesmerized, and he's a true surgeon. So yeah, I think that as I made the transition from not just being a speaker but being an author, I wanted to write my first book. I've always had a desire to write and to be a published author and to inspire people, not just by my words verbally as I'm speaking to them within a crowd, but also on paper, for them to take me home with them so they can continuously learn based on what I've said on stage.
Okay. So the name of your book, your upcoming, I'm claiming it for you right now, your upcoming Amazon and New York Times best-selling book coming out in
I'll
2016
take it.
is called Quit Quitting. So that is a powerful title. So, and you mentioned earlier talk going from victim to victor, and I just love how that flows into quitting. But tell us, what's the premise of your upcoming book, Quitting?
We have we have a lot of people that are consistently trying new things, and they want to move forward in life. And quitting, I'm teaching people how to pursue their dreams by never quitting again. We have, on one side, we have someone telling us that we can, like on the cartoons when we grew up as kids. We watched the cartoons. There's a little devil here and there's an angel here.
Yes.
And one's telling you, yes, you can. The other one's telling you, no, you can't. And I want to be able to express to people that they don't have to quit, that it may be tough, but they can achieve their dreams, achieve what they've always wanted to achieve as long as they keep pushing forward.
Why do you think, Shamir, as I'm sure you gave this some thought before writing your book, but what are some of the key reasons or why people quit in the first place?
There are several reasons, and people have a lot of help to quit. We live in a world, for the most part, I believe, is mostly negative. A lot of the world, and as I say the world, I mean, if I could find all the negative people around me and they each gave me a penny, I'd probably be a millionaire. We have more negativity, I believe, through the media, through the way people speak, than we have positive words or positive media.
Indeed.
So we have a lot of help, and that comes from people, that comes from naysayers. There are people that I know, and I had a conversation with someone the other day, and she says, and these are people that actually prayed with this young lady. That's what amazed me. They were in her prayer circle, and they said, yeah, I'm gonna tell a different name because I don't want her name to be out there, but
Right.
Sarah, you are getting your hopes up. Why do you keep praying for the same old thing? You just getting your hopes up. So we have a lot of help to quit. People say you're shooting too high. People say come back down to earth. And these are some of the words I put in my book. So we deal with naysayers, but we also have to deal with the enemy. The worst enemy that we're ever going to face is ourself.
Yes.
That if we can overcome ourself, we can overcome anything. And that, according to studies, psychologists have said that we experience up to 40 to 50,000 thoughts per day. Out of all of those thoughts, 80% of them are negative. So if people are walking around unconsciously thinking about what they're thinking about, and they're not consciously doing it, they're painting negative thoughts. As we know, our thoughts dictate our actions dictate our future. So we have to get over, and as you said, once again, I'll say it again, tip number one, get out of your own way. That's one of the issues that keeps us back, is we never get out of our own way. We let our thoughts get the best of us. 60% of people worry about things that will never happen. I have someone I know right now that the person, all they do is worry. They are consumed with worry. They worry about stuff. They worry when they don't have anything to worry about.
They worry because they don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, they worry because they don't. I mean, they're like, okay, I don't have anything to worry about. I'm worried. I'm used to worrying. So, lack of willpower. A lot of people quit because they're disorganized. They're entertaining dysfunction. It's hard to be functional when you're dysfunctional. And I had to break a lot of dysfunction growing up the way I grew up. So people, because they're not organized, they don't have structure, they don't take the time out of the day to work on themselves. They don't have any guidance. They don't have any mentorship. When you're in the game all by yourself and you don't have anyone in the corner, when you're in the ring by yourself, you don't have anyone in the corner, it's a good chance you might lose that fight.
Wow.
So a lot of people go through life like that.
Those are some great points, and I'm glad you shared those with us. And to add on top of that, we live in a society right now that's built on in, instant gratification. It's a micro
Absolutely.
society that says that if I can't have it right now, then it isn't worth having. So I might as well quit. Whereas back in the day, there was value not only in the destination, but in the journey. There was value in going through what you had to go through to get what you got. Because once you got it, it wasn't so much that you got it, but you valued what you had to go through to get it. But today,
Exactly.
because you can put something in a microwave and 2 minutes later it's ready, or because you can Google something and you get the answer within seconds, people don't value putting in the work.
Absolutely. They don't. It took me a while to build my business, CLS Devices, and my other business, my speaking coaching business. I'm building that. But CLS Devices is doing well. But it took me time, and it didn't happen overnight. And a lot of people say, "Wow, Chis'mere, I want to do what you're doing." And I'm like, "Will you go through what I went through?" We live in a microwave generation, as you just said, and a lot of people, they do not want to put in the work, and they are consumed with mass weapons of distractions. You have to be focused, and you have to be relentless when you're going after your dreams. And you're in your book. I love the fact, tip number 2, you said fear. You have to be fearless. False evidence appearing real. And I believe that people are believing in the false evidence more than they're believing in their imagination. Einstein says that imagination is the soil that brings your dreams to life. We need to focus and go back to being a little child again. And what I mean by that is little children, they imagine. If I was to ask my kids, what do you want to be when you get older? What are your dreams? What are your hopes? They'll say, I want to be an NBA. I want to be a football player. I want to be a ballerina, my daughter would say. See, they imagine. But I believe life slowly beats out of us. That little child that should always remain, it beats us out of us because the world, as we get older, begins to shape us and tell us that we have to color inside of a box. I get excited when my 6-year-old colors outside the box. But we have to go back to being that little kid. Be fearless, get out of our own way, and we have to develop a strong work ethic that is going to outwork our competition. And you'll have whatever you want in this world if you do that.
Hey, we are talking to Chis'mere Mallard, the golden voice of motivation. I just love that saying. And as I said to you earlier, you are the melodic master of motivation. That's what I love that phrase too. You are dropping some knowledge. You're helping us to learn how to quit quitting. And you said something real great about having that childlike mentality that we used to be full of imagination as we were a little kid. We used to believe that everything was possible, but then we grew up and life started telling us that things were impossible. And we started to believe the story instead of believing the reality. And that leads us to the point of where a lot of us are more willing to quit because it's impossible than to keep going because it might just be possible. So your book is coming along at the right time, and you got some great tips that I definitely want you to share with our audience in the little time that's remaining with us. And one of the tips you mentioned to me that a person can do or needs to do, or as I like to say, must do in order to quit quitting is to just start. Talk to us about that.
So yeah, it's important to start. The keys to success and all the right products you can have, get in your building. You can do everything you need to do for your company. But at the end of the day, when you're trying to follow your dreams, you want to go back to school, you actually have to start. If you want to become a chef, you have to start. If you want to be an author, you have to actually start writing. So it sounds very simple, and it is. but it's very profound because a lot of people do not start. See, a goal without step is just it's like it's a daydream. It's never
You know what?
because you started.
Whenever you say something great like that, I gotta have you to repeat it. So go ahead. So what is it about the dream?
So I said, if you have a goal, have an action step. It's like a dreamer without action. It's just a daydream. A dream without action is just a daydream. So
Wow.
I tell people, you don't have to start small. You don't have to go from A to Z. Go to A to B. Les Brown says, by the yard is hard, inch by inch, everything is a cinch. So go 1 inch, move 1 inch at a time. But you have to start somewhere. I told someone the other day that they wanted to go back to school. I said, at least you can maybe take 3 hours, take one class. You don't have to start off with 12 classes. Just get your feet wet. What if Thomas Edison didn't start? We would never have the light bulb. What if, yeah, he found 10,000 ways, as he said, that wouldn't work, but he started. Many people would say that he was a big failure until he actually accomplished his dream, but at least he started. Dr. Seuss was a failure, yeah, 27 times, but then he published his first book. But it took him 27 times, but at least he started. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school team, but at least he went back and did it again. He started.
Yes, and not only starting, but being willing to start over, because there's somebody who's watching this right now who's going to watch the replay that is going through transition. They have to start over. See, where they were before is no longer available. Maybe that job that they had forever that they thought was going to give them the gold watch, but gave them the pink slip has
Absolutely.
way, and now they've got to start over. Maybe that person that was in this great relationship and that loving marriage with the kids and the house and the picket fence now is going through a divorce. They have to start over. Those two examples are people that could easily quit because they feel like the world has quit on them. Your book,
Absolutely.
your book is here at the right time to show them that they've got to quit quitting and not only just start, but start over. I love it. I love it, Chis'mere.
I have to start over too. I've had to do that. I got a pink slip from corporate America, and I had to start over, and that's a part of life. And you have to go back to the drawing board and develop a new game plan and have what I call in my book cheerleaders around you, people who are in your support group, people who really want to see you do well in life. I had to do that. And I have another point. I know we don't have much time left, but constantly develop yourself. You have to constantly develop yourself. How else would a flower grow if it's not watered and doesn't receive sunshine? See, we have to water our brains every day with words from books. Mark Twain says, the one who doesn't read has no advantage over the one who can't read. So I think it's important that we develop ourselves. Whatever area that you want to work in, whatever job you want to seek or business that you're looking to open, you need to study. You have to study in the area. It's not be a lawyer. Well, you have to study. What do lawyers study? You have to feed your mind. If you don't, this world will feed it with a lot of negativity. And you have to attend seminars and find networks. Robert Kiyosaki says, wealthy people build networks. Other people find work. So if you're looking to build wealth or you're looking to start your own company, you have to get around people that are doing exactly what you want to do. Doctors hang around doctors. Lawyers hang around lawyers. I'm a medical distributor. I know other medical distributors. I'm a speaker. You're a speaker. I know you. We know black belt speakers.
Yes.
See, we hang around the people that are doing what we want to do. Because as the Bible calls it, iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens the other.
Exactly.
And you get around people that are growing, you will grow by accident. Even if you don't want to grow, you're just going to grow by accident. And make a conscious decision and a conscious choice that you're going to grow. And it's going to be constant. Every day, take some time out. Read 30 pages of some motivational book or a book that's going to help you grow. Take time out to listen to an inspirational CD. You have to do it every day.
And you can start by getting ready to pre-order the upcoming Amazon bestseller, New York Times best-selling book called Quit Quitting by my buddy Chis'mere Mallard. We're talking to Chis'mere on the Next Level Living show. I hope you are getting some great information. I hope you are writing down all these nuggets that Chis'mere is passing out for free this evening. You won't get this kind of information for free anywhere else on the planet. You won't get this kind of access to Chis'mere on an everyday basis. He charges thousands of dollars for the information that he's giving to you for free right now. So take full advantage of it, and make sure you're checking, you're clicking the like buttons, you're clicking the share buttons on Facebook. You're tweeting out some of these great inspirational nuggets that he's giving us on Twitter, and that you're letting people know that Chis'mere Mallard is on the Next Level Living show. You've got one more great tip, and I think that tip is apropos right now for what you said, because not only do you have to constantly develop yourself, but this last thing that you said, I think, is even more important than the first two things. And you simply say, make up your mind. Talk to the people about making up your mind to quit for the last time.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to make up in your mind today, not tomorrow, but right now, that you've quit for the very last time. We make up in our minds and we make decisions on a lot of different things. We decide what kind of house we're going to live in. We decide what kind of car, what kind of insurance we want for the car. We decide what we're going to gifts we're going to buy for Christmas. People are making decisions right now. We spend more time making up our minds doing things that are mundane, that they have no impact on our future. But we must make up our minds today. And I mean, I still deal with things. I'm right in the same boat with you. I have to overcome myself. You have to make it up in your mind today, not tomorrow, not Saturday, that you've quit for the very last time, and that you're going to go after your dreams, after the things that you want out of life with all that you have. And then you're going to be disciplined. Jim Rome says that discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. H.P. Lytton says, what we do on some great occasion, and as I say great and put an emphasis on great, will depend upon what we are. And what we are is the result of previous years of self-discipline. So discipline yourself today, ladies and gentlemen, that you will never quit on yourself, never quit on your dreams, never quit on your destiny, never quit on your dynasty, never quit on your family, never quit on your husband, never quit on your wife, never quit on yourself ever again. Never quit on that individual that needs to hear your voice, needs to read your book, needs to have you work on them as you need to be the next best surgeon, needs to taste your next delicious meal. There might be a chef listening to me right now. You have it inside of you. You have greatness inside of you. Make it up in your mind. You've quit. You're not going to quit ever again, that you're not going to quit.
Wow, powerful words from a powerful man, the golden voice of motivation, the melodic master of motivation, Chis'mere Mallard, on the Next Level Living show. So tell us a little bit more about the book. You gave us some great nuggets. I don't want you to give too much else about the book, but tell us when they can expect the book, what they should start doing to have a deeper connection with you leading up to that book release in early 2016.
Yes, absolutely. It's coming out early 2016, roughly at the end of end of January. And I'd love for everyone to stay in touch with me via Facebook. You can get in touch with me with, according to my name, is Chis'mere Mallard, Chismere. Last name is Mallard, Mallard. I scope from time to time. It's at Chis'mere, Chismere. And I'm excited, and I want to hear back from you all. And I know that everyone that's hearing my voice right now, that you have something to look forward to, not just 2016, but what I call an amazing decade.
Well, you know what? I thank you for that. And, definitely connect with Chis'mere Mallard on all his social media, on Periscope, on Facebook. Do you have a website where they can reach out to you, or a speaking?
Yes, it's absolutely. It's my name, Chis'mere Mallard, www.chis'meremallard.com.
Excellent. And I'm
And
sure
I'm
you.
uploading the videos, and I have my website designer. He's uploading some things as we speak. So absolutely stay in touch with me. The best is yet to come. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission, and I'm on a mission to touch over 100 million, as many people as I can. And I want people to realize that they too can come up, they too can rise up, they too do not have to live according to their memories. And as I say that, memory recall is destroying millions around the earth. It's because they're living according to their memories instead of according to their imagination.
Mm,
So make it up in
mm.
your mind. You've quit for the last time.
I love it. Thanks, Chis'mere. So, is there any place that they can see you live? Are you going to be speaking anywhere, locally or nationally, where maybe someone can come out and check you out over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, I'm going to start putting my events on my website, and I have possibly a women's conference I'm going to be speaking at. I have a school I'm going to be speaking at in January, and a couple of events I'm lining up, maybe for a couple of network marketing companies. But just stay in touch with me via Facebook, through my website, and you'll definitely hear you'll see everywhere I'm going to be speaking. And I'll probably scope from some of the places that I'm going to be speaking. And I'll probably be speaking somewhere with you soon, Terrance, the
Oh,
unstoppable coach.
oh, most definitely. Yes, yes. We definitely we have big plans for you. You, as everyone knows, here on the Next Level Living Show, I'm also one of the founding members of a phenomenal male speaking group called the Men of Vision, where we look to show the world that you can go farther, faster through collaboration as opposed to competition. And we're
That's
going to
right.
be doing some phenomenal things in 2016. We're going to be taking this show on the road across the country, and we definitely want you as an extension of the Men of Vision movement to come out and share your message with us, because you are a phenomenal speaker. You are a magnanimous speaker. You are a speaker that not only speaks from the heart, but you speak to the heart. And I'm so proud of you that you decided to not continue to be a victim, but to be a victor. You decided to pursue your dreams, and you're showing the world by your example that it's possible to quit quitting and be unstoppable. So, my hat's off to you, my brother. All right.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Thank you
with
so much, Terrance.
You are so very welcome. So, with that being said, I want you to definitely check out Chis'mere Mallard at chis'meremallard.com. Check him out with all his inspirational videos. Stay tuned to that website so that you can get more information on when the book Quit Quitting goes into pre-sale and resale, so that you can be one of the first people that gets that book, gets that powerful motivation, so that you can make 2016 the best year of your life. Thank you so much, Chis'mere Mallard. And as always, we're going to leave you with our unstoppable thought of the week. And lose that victim mentality that may have been carrying this far. Many times we carry that victim mentality long after we've been victimized. We tend to lose the reality of the situation and walk in the story that was created as a result of the reality. But if it's one thing I know, this world keeps on turning, and it's going to keep on moving forward. And you have to do like Chis'mere said, decide, make up your mind which way you're going to go forward. Are you going to go forward as a victim within a victim mentality? Or if you're going to start walking in victory, you're going to quit quitting, and you're going to start living your life on the next level. You only get one life. You only get one chance to get it right. You only get one opportunity to live your life on the next level. So quit quitting. Start right where you are. You know, the world says if you take one step, the universe will take two. God, and we talk about God and we talk to God on this show, is just waiting for you to show up. He's already made the plan. He's just waiting for you to show up and be a part of that plan. And trust me, if it's one thing that I know, and then Chis'mere has already told you, God's got your back. But you've got to start looking forward instead of looking back. He's already got that covered. So now walk in your greatness, walk in your destiny, walk in your future, and never settle for anything less than the greatness that was intended for you. Quit quitting and go be unstoppable. That's my time. That's our time. Thank you, as always, for watching the Next Level Living Show with Coach Terrance. And if you are someone who is a speaker, if you are someone who's a presenter, if you are someone who is an author, if you are someone who is an coach or an entrepreneur, and you need showcasing for yourself, for your business, for your ministry, then give us a shout out at the Next Level Living Show at gmail.com. I'd love to have a conversation with you so that we could utilize this very same format, this very same platform to showcase what you're doing with the world, because we're talking to ordinary people doing extraordinary things to live their life on the next level. I don't want you to have a great week. I want you to have an unstoppable week. And here's to living your life on the next level. Take care, family.